On behalf of the Riverside and Great Northern Preservation Society, we thank you for your time in watching this video. Before I get into why we need donations, let me tell you a little bit about our railway. The mission of the Riverside and Great Northern Preservation Society is to establish a museum and other facilities for the purpose of displaying the design, development, operation, and maintenance of steam railways and other steam operating facilities, and to provide education and training for those interested in the design, development, operation, and maintenance of such facilities, and in general to promote educational program for the general public in accordance with such purposes. The Riverside and Great Northern Preservation Society is an all-volunteer, not-for-profit preservation society dedicated to the preservation and restoration of steam-powered light railway trains. The Society owns and operates a light railway living museum on the grounds of the Sanley Light Railway Equipment Works, located a few miles north of Wisconsin Dells, Wisconsin. The Society was formed in 1988 for the purpose of acquiring the Sanley Light Railway Equipment Works facilities with the intent of opening a living museum on the site. The Society, now 250 members strong, continues to operate and improve the Riverside and Great Northern Railway, a living museum that attracts over 20,000 visitors each year, of all ages. The Society members come from all walks of life and give generously of their time and talent to operate and maintain the museum, and advance the museum's preservation and conservatory efforts. The Museum of the Riverside and Great Northern Railway opened in October of 1989, after the Society volunteers restored the grounds and facilities to operating condition. The Society acquired and restored two of Sanley's steam locomotives, the 440, which is the number 82, built in 1957 originally for the Milwaukee County Zoo, and the other 440, its twin, the number 98, built in 1957 for the Knoxville, Tennessee Zoo, as well as other railroad stock built by the Sanley firm. The museum consists of an operating 15-inch gauge light railroad, operating hourly or as required when the museum is opened, a food cafe called the Iron Horse, and picnic ground, learning centers, a museum store, and operating facilities, all located on 35 acres of beautiful wooded land along the Wisconsin River. The Riverside and Great Northern Railway's grounds are home to a number of rare plant species growing in the niche environments along the rocky cliffs surrounding the dells of the Wisconsin River. We also have a smaller, narrow-gauge railway called the Dells Live Steamers, which operates a not-for-profit corporation of 7.5-inch gauge model trains on the museum grounds. On to our need. We received back as a donation to the railway the 128 locomotive, which was one of the first locomotives built by the Sanley Light Railway. The 128 locomotive had been derailed back in the 1980s, and its then owner's railway. After the derailment and overturning of the locomotive, it was placed in outside storage for nearly 30 years, allowing many of its components to deteriorate. We slowly raised the funds to rebuild this locomotive and bring it back into operating condition, as well as restore it to its former glory. This has been a long and slow process, made worse by the passing of two of our key railway members, Jack Flemming, our head conductor, and Gary Gleason, our general manager and one of our engine mechanics. The rest of us volunteers have had to take up the huge slack and shoes left by the passing of these members, which has further slowed the progress of the 128 restoration. Our main workhorse, the number 82, is aging as well, and last year it appeared we had another 2 to 3 years of use left out of its boiler before the rebuild was necessary. Plenty of time for us to complete the restoration of the 128 and bring it back into regular service as our new main workhorse locomotive, as the 128 is capable of pulling twice as many coaches as the number 82. Unfortunately for us, the state boiler inspector decided the number 82 can no longer be run, erring on the side of caution, meaning the number 82 will need to be mothballed in storage until we can raise the $50,000 required for the new boiler. While the 128 boiler build has begun, we are still in need of about $20,000 to complete the restoration of that engine, as it is more than a boiler that is needed to be restored. The restoration time for the 128 is approximately the end of 2018, whereas the number 82 will not be done until far after that if we already had the funds to begin the build. We are also in need of a new roundhouse turntable. The existing roundhouse turntable is almost as old as the entire railway, and its timbers and overall condition warrant a complete replacement at this point. We have done our best to prolong its life. Recently, we completed the rebuild of our Western Springs turntable, which is at the end of our rail line and required to turn any tourist pulling engines around for the return journey. While it can currently handle the weight of our American Class 440 locomotives, the number 82 and its twin, the number 98, it will not be able to handle the weight of the 128 engine once completed out of our locomotive shop. We need approximately $5,000 for materials to build the new turntable, with all labor being done by volunteers. Last, due to the unexpected mothballing of the number 82, this leaves our number 98, its twin, as our only steam engine legally able to pull tourists. We have a diesel that operates on an as-needed basis during the off-season as an emergency backup during the on-season. However, at the times we are not able to run steam, whether it be due to a no-burn mandate by the state due to dry weather or lack of qualified steam engineers due to scheduling issues, we have the diesel engine with no backup. If our diesel were to have a breakdown, we have no way to retrieve stuck passengers and also would be out any revenue trains until the diesel would be repaired. Because of this, we have decided to design, and we have designed and priced the cost to build a new, easy-to-operate electric streetcar trolley / railcar type engine, or excursion vehicle, as you might think. The benefit to this is an always-ready, turnkey, and easy-to-operate, low operating cost and low maintenance engine that could not only be used as a backup in case of breakdown of either diesel or steam engine, it could also be used as an excursion vehicle to generate additional revenue by taking passengers on a slower, more personal ride through our right-of-way, stopping to give more history, and of course as a rentable engine for birthday parties and special events. The cost to build an electric trolley or railcar would come in at approximately $10,000, with all labor volunteered for the build. This is a high priority to us, as we could build this engine from scratch in under 2 months and have it ready at the beginning or near the beginning of tourist season. This is a dire need, as we must have a backup engine. No backup engine means no tourist income to help keep the railway open if we were to have a breakdown of the diesel or a steam engine during a revenue pulling season or a train ride. Any business or individual able to donate 50% of the cost of this locomotive or higher would get permanent advertising for their business placed in the locomotive, which will be seen by tourists. A 100% donation of the $10,000 would be given the naming rights to the locomotive. All donations are tax deductible, as the Riverside and Great Northern Railway is a 501c nonprofit organization. Thank you for your time, and we hope we will be able to see you at our railway and that you would be able to contribute to our rebuild efforts.